Hi, I want to thank you once again for joining me on my program. Today I'm going to bring a teaching entitled, You're the Only One. Sometimes we need to recognize that God is the only one that can be our answer. We look to man for help and they may try, but they can't fix everything. Sometimes David even said, the help of man is useless, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. In fact, one of the things I like about David is the transparency of his life. He told us how he felt at any given moment. And I have a feeling that what we're about to study, of where an emotion David was going through and something he learned, or I should say remembered, might be something for someone today, because when God impressed this upon my spirit, I felt very strong about it, as though it was for someone. So as you listen to this one today, if you think, that's not me, would you please share it? Because we need to find the one that it's for, and maybe many that it's for. Usually the Bible is not written for just one, it's written for many. And we're going to use the Word of God, the Passion Translation today. Let's look at Psalm 142. And we're going to actually look at the whole chapter. It's only 7 verses. He says, God, I'm crying out to you. I lift my voice boldly to beg for your mercy. I spill out my heart to you and tell you all my troubles. David wasn't telling the neighborhood. He wasn't telling Facebook. He wasn't telling Instagram. He wasn't telling the newspaper. David said, I go to God and tell him all my troubles. I spill it all out, he says. And that's good advice for all of us. Spill out your troubles to God. After all, we know He can answer. Verse 3, for when I was desperate. What he's saying here is already happened. For when I was desperate. So he's remembering. Sometimes it's very important to remind ourselves of how God came through for us in the past. For when I was desperate, overwhelmed, and about to give up, you were the only one there to help. You gave me a way of escape from the hidden traps of my enemies. I look to my left and right to see if there's anyone who will help, but there's no one who takes notice of me. So first thing he did was remember that God always came through. And now he says, I look around and my left and my right, and there's nobody that can help me. I have no hope of escape, and no one cares whether I live or die. I'm telling you, when David just tells it like it is, that's the way he felt. Is there someone out there today that just feels like nobody cares if I live or die? That is such a lie, because we already know God cares. And He loves you. Although you may feel like David did, nobody even cares if I live or die. Have you ever said that? I bet most of us have at one time or another. And David said it. Verse 5, so I cried out to you, Lord, my only hiding place. You're all I have, my only hope in this life, my last chance for help. Please listen to my heart's cry, for I am low and desperate need of you. Rescue me from all those who persecute me, for I am no match for them. Have you ever felt outmatched? Have you ever felt like you're the low guy on the totem pole and everybody else is higher and stronger and has more authority? But you're right. But you don't know how to tell them, because after all, they don't seem to want to hear. God does. Verse 7, bring me out of this dungeon so I can declare your praise, and all your godly lovers will celebrate all the wonderful things you've done for me. See, Christians need to be celebrating together. Celebrate the great things God has done. If this is you today, if what I have read today kind of describes the way you feel right now in that dungeon of despair, the one that says nobody even cares, God does. Remember verse 3, for when I was desperate, overwhelmed, and about to give up, you were the only one there to help me. You gave me a way of escape from the hidden traps of my enemies, and nothing has changed. He still does today. In fact, if we go on over and look at Psalm 60, verse 12, David said, through God we will do valiantly. In other words, we'll overcome through God. You know the 23rd Psalm, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me. In all of this, David knew who to call out to when no one else seemed to be listening. And he knows who will lead him through the valley. And he knows that through God we will do valiantly. So I ask you once again, if this is you, look up. Cry out to God and spill it all out. And then let Him bring you through the valley, knowing He will never leave you, and He'll walk with you through that valley. But if it's not you, would you please share this video today? Let's get it out to people. There are other people out there besides you and besides me. God has a message for them that are hurting, for those that are hurting. Let's share and encourage someone today. Thank you for watching. I hope you will like, definitely share, tell a friend, leave a comment, and subscribe. Help this channel to grow. Thank you and God bless you.